Hey, Heather Thompson, Clarity Alignment Specialist, author, and speaker. So glad you're with me today. We're talking about something very important, and I want you to listen up. We're talking about why 2020 cannot be canceled and how that idea is ruining your life. So let's go ahead and get straight into this. I've got several notes here that I'll be sharing with you, and I truly hope that they will be a blessing to your life. Participating in cancel culture has become pretty much a phenomenon lately. It's a popular method and way of saying that you're done with something that you think is wrong, or it's useless, or it's overrated. And lately, that whole idea seems to be centered on anything painful as well. But you don't get to abandon an assignment just because it's uncomfortable. You just don't. Really, I want to ask people sometimes, who told you that? Who or what made you believe that just because something is difficult or it seems like it's trying your patience or it's not instantly understandable that you just get to bail out? No, the answer is you get to stay. Otherwise, that's like waving an imaginary magic wand at a speeding car coming towards you, and then you wake up in the hospital and you wonder how you got there. Because the car hits you. You don't get to avoid pain just because you're uncomfortable. You get something that you probably didn't expect. You get the luxury of going through the situation. Now, even in hearing those words, I know someone wants to go ahead and cancel me simply because they don't like the idea of pain. I get it. Nobody likes pain. And why should we? Hurting over something, whether it's the pain of discipline to make you better or the pain of regret due to what you couldn't or you wouldn't see, it still hurt. All of it hurts. Operating with the belief, however, that you can just dismiss something and be done with it when it's a part of your life, it is just a cover for how you really feel. Think about it. There's really no hashtag unbothered for that. There's just work to be done when you feel that way. And here's a priceless reminder for that. The biggest wins from work are only for the willing. The biggest wins that come from work are only for the willing. You can't get it unless you're willing to go for it. Willingness starts with showing up. Even when you aren't feeling it, even when you'd rather be doing something else, but you stay because you're moving forward by faith. So how can you show up more in 2020 and not give into a canceled mindset? There are a couple of ways. Let's go through them. Number one, relabel the mindset of cancel culture. You've got to relabel the mindset of cancel culture. If you want to cancel anything, so to speak, let it be your own bad habits. That's an ouch, right? Think of it this way. Many times a television show will be canceled while it is still on the air. A series will continue filming for however many episodes that the show is contracted for, unless there's some particular circumstance in place. But it's well known that that show is already in the final season. The cast and crew don't just stop coming to work, though. They keep rehearsing, they keep memorizing, they have table reads, and then they end up filming until the final obligated scene is shot. We've got to be the same way about our own lives in the areas that we need to persist in the most. So you've got to start identifying the things you do that are keeping you stuck, and you need to start taking steps towards who you ideally want to be. I hope you know who that is. And with time and continued practice, that's the key right there. You'll get to where you have to go. You'll only be putting the brakes on your own momentum until you do. Number two, invest in those who are life givers. Let me ask you something. Who's speaking life into you? You don't need people present just talking about whatever is popular. You need people around you who are talking about what is purposeful, profitable, and positive. Let's say that again. You need people around you who are purposeful, profitable. They're talking about those things, and what they talk about is positive. So let me ask, who are those people in your life? You have to seek out time with them. If anything, you've got to cancel out having intentional relationships with people who speak the exact opposite over you. They're not speaking anything purposeful. They're not thinking and talking about things that are impactful. You know who they are. They're the friends that who don't call you when something goes well or you don't call them because, well, frankly, you know that they'll disappoint you with backhanded compliments and comments that you end up side-eyeing. And half of the time, people endure this because honestly, they don't want to lose them. But here's the problem with that. When you're holding on to someone simply because separation or new beginnings scares you and brings you anxiety, you've already lost. It's true. You need iron sharpens iron kind of people around you. Not just people wondering who you're trying to be whenever you make a change. You need those who celebrate you and you celebrate them in return. Get those people around you who speak life into you and make sure that you do the same for them. Number 3, get back to the things that motivate you. You know, we've been in a pretty monotonous routine, have we not? Most of us, since the pandemic started with stay-at-home orders and now with virtual schooling upon us, more people working from home and so on. Now, while it does make sense to be in survival mode and focused primarily on the essentials, I get it, remember to hold on to your passion, your purpose, and to keep these things at the forefront of your thoughts. Some of you know the power of building a specific dream in a recession or a depression. You've even heard the saying that millionaires are created during situations like these and not to give up. And you understand that what you do in this season matters. I just want to remind you that there are all these memes that say, go hard while everyone's resting. That's one side of the equation. The other end, I should say, of the spectrum, and the other end is, or forget extra time. Spend more time with your family. That should be your priority. Listen, you can do both. You can wake up earlier or go to bed later to get specific work done, and you can still spend quality time with your loved ones. You want to get motivation to get going? The truth is, you need to stop considering only 2 choices. This is where the human mind feels stuck because we were built to do more than just one thing. We were built to see multiple possibilities. So only focusing on limitations is one way of keeping yourself bound. Today, get back to freedom. That's your assignment. In your prayer time, your alone time, ask God for guidance on the best way to move forward. Don't disconnect yourself from any hope for the future. That's not going to do anything good for you. Instead, I want you to seek out long-range vision for new possibilities and the best way to pursue them. And then make sure to write that plan down so it's not just staying up in that mind that we talked about is so cluttered. Make sure that you're writing things down so that you can revisit what it is that you're planning out. You still have dreams that matter. And those aren't ever worth being canceled unless you're letting them go for something better. Even then, that's not even cancellation. That's an upgrade. So let's upgrade 2020 instead of canceling it wherever possible. Even if something doesn't work, it's still worth the effort. Changed plans are a part of life. You can't avoid them, but so are completion and success. They're a part of this journey too. And all 3 of them have one thing in common. They require you to start. They also need you to continue. You can't cancel what needs to begin and be moved forward. That's not how this works. So no more canceling anything except that which doesn't serve you or doesn't serve your community. Wherever you find yourself, get your plan in place, begin, and move forward. So thank you so much for joining me. As always, I'm Heather Thompson, Clarity Alignment Specialist, author, and speaker. I thank you for being with me, and I will indeed be back with more tips and information here, especially on working on stress during this time, understanding and identifying where it came from and how to get rid of it the best way possible. So again, thank you for joining me. And if you feel that you're not having a great day, remember this. Make it one. It is within your power to do so. God bless, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.